Hey guys, bit of a serious video today, and I just have to apologize for something. See, I made a bad decision a couple days ago when when I saw the new Ghostbusters movie, and honestly, I just need to get this off my chest and protect anyone else from making the mistake that I did. And I'm assuming that you guys haven't seen it yet since you haven't killed yourselves yet. So I think it's only appropriate to play a couple clips of this movie just so you guys get how serious of a problem this really is. But if you are at all sensitive to disturbing imagery, I urge you to stop the video now. And for your protection, I will be posting the number of the suicide hotline in the description below.
It's a class 4 operation. That's okay. She seems peaceful. My name is Erin Gilbert, doctor of particle physics. That stuff went everywhere, by the way, in every crack. Very hard to wash off.
We have dedicated our whole lives to studying the paranormal.
There are people out there that need our help. Holtzman, you're a brilliant engineer. Erin, no one's better at quantum physics than you. We can provide a real service.
I'm joining the club. You guys are really smart about this science stuff, but I know New York.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh. Did you want to?
Sorry. I'll let you.
Next time. Okay.
Someone is creating a device that amplifies paranormal activity. And we might be the only ones who can stop it.
Holtzman, come on.
The hat is too much, right? Is it the wig or the hat?
Oh, hell no, the devil is a liar! Get out of my friend, Ghost!
Ow, that's gonna leave a mark.
The power of pain compels you!
Now, again, guys, the number of the suicide hotline is in the description if you find yourself needing it, or have found yourself needing it from that last video. But in all seriousness, let's talk about this disgusting excuse for a movie. Okay, so I'd just like to say, I went into this movie with poor expectations, and somehow still was disappointed. Up until this point, the worst movie I'd ever seen was the movie Battleship. And if you don't remember that movie, it's because it was shit. But it just held a special place in my heart as the worst movie I've ever seen. But to be 100% honest, this movie blew it out of the water in every respect as the worst movie I have ever seen. And this video is honestly going to be a pretty unstructured rant because I didn't even write a script for this. This is how strongly and how confidently I know how I feel about this movie. But yeah, first of all, I'd like to talk about the cast of this movie. Melissa McCarthy makes me want to commit suicide on a good day. So this being probably her worst movie of all of her shit movies, I honestly don't know how I'm still here. So yeah, she was an unbearable character, but honestly, she was actually not the most annoying character, and that's a feat. That is a testament of how horrible this movie was, because I've never seen a movie with her where she's not the absolute worst, most unbearable just annoying character in the entire movie. And that probably stems from the fact that even though she's not a very original actor, that she was the most original character in this entire movie, because every single other character was they just consisted of normal shitty archetypes. We had the token black woman, the token lesbian, the token so quirky woman, and then Melissa McCarthy, who was playing the same exact role that she plays in literally every single movie that she has a role in. And then the other point, I guess, the thing is, they didn't push the fact that they were all women. Like, they didn't turn it into, like, a feminist thing as much as I really thought they were. I mean, there were a couple of things, and, I mean, I really couldn't care less at all. So I didn't really notice much. Like, most of the male characters were either evil or retarded. Like, seriously, Chris whatever Hemsworth, his character was one of the most... He was so retarded in the most unoriginal, cliche, comedy relief character way. And, I mean, I guess that might be... That's probably a big reason that I just hated this movie so much. Because every joke that was told in this movie has been told a million times before. Every joke is just such a tired cliche of... It's just... The movie is so horribly unoriginal, and because of that, all of the humor seems just horribly, horribly forced. And because of that, there's just... It's just so unbearable. Like, my little brother, he still watches a lot of, like, Disney Channel stuff. He's like... he watches a lot of it. And you know, they're like... They have these, like, sitcoms, sort of. They're like sitcoms for kids. And they are... Like, the humor, it's... If you know what I'm talking about, you know how forced and just lame the humor was. And this movie, it was worse. And that might be because it was a movie that lasted for an hour and 50 minutes, opposed to a TV show that lasted for 20 minutes on a long episode. And then, like... So then, the story of this movie, it's... Again, it's not... It's just boring. It's old, and it's been told before. Essentially, the story of the movie is this woman... She works at a college. She's a professor or something, and she used to believe in ghosts, and she used to write books on ghosts, and she was like a paranormal investigator, and her partner was Melissa McCarthy, and the book that she wrote got out, and so then somebody was asking her to investigate paranormal activity at some museum, and then all of a sudden somebody was making a device to summon ghosts for whatever reason, and then they had to all team up together to stop the machine, whatever. And one of the worst parts about it, the villain's motivation was just... It bordered on non-existent. I guess it was just the normal, like, he was bullied in middle school or something, and he was gonna make them all pay or something, but, you know, instead of just going and shooting up his old middle school like a normal person, he instead decides to summon ghosts, I guess. And he worked at a hotel and was just weird. He kind of looks like, if you've ever seen Eraserhead, I think his name's Ed. Ed from Eraserhead. He looks a bit like that, except Eraserhead was a good movie. But yeah, and I mean, to wrap this little completely unstructured rant up, this movie was horrible. Don't waste your time. It was so bad. I actually saw a statistic that their budget was like $117 million or $107 million, and they made, I want to say like 17 million at the box office, and that's completely appropriate because this movie was bad and it just needs to be forgotten as soon as humanly possible. Yeah, so don't see this movie. It's bad. It's so bad. Don't see this movie. And I will keep the number for the suicide hotline in the description just in case you found yourself needing it.